Hey everyone, this is Inks here with a very special guest, Animellow, and today we are going to be talking about JoJo Part 4, and what better way to get into the Christmas spirit than perhaps talking about one of the best JoJo parts out there. Also, by the way, if you enjoy really awesome JoJo content, then definitely check out Animellow's channel. The link to that will be in the description below.
Shucks. Thanks, Inks.
Is there anything that you wanted to say, like introduce yourself or something?
Yeah, I was making sure you were done. Yeah, just want to say thanks for having me on your channel. Yeah, it's been a little while since we collabed, so glad to be here and to talk about one of my, not only my favorite anime and manga, but one of my favorite topics in general, JoJo's.
JoJo is like JoJo might be like probably on like my top 10 anime list now.
Oh,
especially like me seeing like part 4 and part 5. I am like loving a lot, but that's for like a later date. Plus, I'm not done with part 5 yet. But part 4 might be my favorite JoJo part so far.
Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, we're technically re-recording here that we're doing. Yeah. So we were talking about that last time. JoJo's is one of those pieces of work that just happens to improve, as it goes on. Yeah, every part is, in my most humble opinion, exponentially better than the last one. Including the protagonist, the antagonist. They just keep upping it. Part 4 might have the best antagonist, though. I don't want to tell you that part 5's isn't amazing too, but it's hard to beat Yoshikaga Kira. He's just goated.
Yeah, I will have to agree with that. Because, as you said, JoJo keeps getting better with like each part. And part 1 through 3, part 1, it's okay. Like, it does enough to get you interested in like this whole new adventure that we're about to be going on. So part 1, I have like always given it like a C. Like, it being average isn't a bad thing, because average to me means that, hey, the rest of the series can like either go up or down for me. So if the first part is a C, that means that everything else is just going to get a lot better going through. So part 1 was like a C to me. I like Jonathan, okay, like he does his job. Part 2, if it wasn't for part 4, then part 2 will like have to be my favorite because of Joseph, which even now he is still like my favorite Joestar. So part 2, yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, no problem. So part 2 was like my old favorite, and that definitely improves on like part 1. And then we have like part 3, and while I didn't personally enjoy all of part 3, the second half, that's probably my favorite part of part 3. And Jotaro's okay, like he's not my top favorite JoJo, maybe 3rd or 4th. Joseph and Josuke are like definitely my top 2. And now that I think about it, the part 2 opening and the first opening for part 4, they kind of have like this similar vibe to them. So in a way, through the music, you can like kind of tell that Joseph and Josuke have some type of connection to them. But that's
True.
like how I've always thought that, especially when I heard like, okay, so you have like this jazzy beat for Joseph, and then Josuke has like kind of like that same upbeat feel to his thing too. And it turns out that a father and son, same kind of vibes to their opening, which I thought was like kind of cool in a way. But
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, go ahead.
No, go on.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm almost done. But yeah, part one, two, and three, I believe that was like our I I believe that that was Araki trying to find his style. So part one, two, and three was like this him trying to get there, but part four is where I think the guy has basically improved. And dare I say, like I said, this is probably my favorite part for now. Until I maybe watch part five and six and read part seven and eight one day. But okay, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I'm kind of jealous of you in a way. Lucky duck. You still got the rest of part 5 to finish, and then all of part 6. And just came out with that, so that's pretty cool. But don't rush it. Just savor it, because going back through it is fun too. Like what rewatching, but yeah. I mean, I think you make a cool point there with Joseph and Josuke. I feel like a lot of people don't really compare them as much as they should, which is funny because they're father and son, and yeah, you actually like get a lot of personality similarities out of the two of them, and yeah, like the same kind of vibes, like you were saying, like from their songs and stuff too. But yeah, I think that you're right when you're saying that he definitely hits his stride in part 4. It's just I feel like he really knows where he's going at that point, and like what kind of more what he wants to do with it. And like I don't know, throughout each part, I feel like he'd also like he knows where he's going, and then he takes like a weird turn that even maybe he didn't even know he was going to take, and then like add something in. But part 4 was definitely my like I was most intrigued, I guess. I was most like drawn into it, the world and like the setting. I fanboy a lot about Morio, but I really like the town of Morio. I think that he did a fantastic job just capturing the atmosphere, and he had Araki had been doing this already with all the the inverted colors and stuff. Sky being yellow, and the water being purple, and just like random stuff like that, changing stuff up. But he seems to have really done it a lot more in part 4. Just like with the whole town itself, it just like it has such a cool I don't know, the backdrop of like every scene is just, it adds so much to that part. So I think that's one of the many reasons why part 4,
Yeah. I will like have to agree because one one of the things that I like about part 4 in the beginning is how it has like this kind of slice of life anime feel to it, and I mean it still has like its bizarre adventures going on, but compared to like the first 3 parts, this feels kind of tame. But because it feels like slice of life, um, we are able, yeah, we are able to learn about Josuke and the rest of the characters, and not only that, But I actually do like the way that this takes place in one city, and the city itself is like another main character that we get to know about, and that we get to, once the mystery element truly kicks in, when you have like, okay, we care about these characters, and now something dangerous is going to happen to them, that's going to draw our attention a lot more.
Well,
So um we get to like this have like this darker side of the city just getting to be known and stuff like that. But you was about to say?
yeah. I'm just curious. Like, are you cool with like spoilers in this? Is this just us saying?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. Because I was just gonna ask you, like, because like you were saying, when it gets to be like the mystery and everything, the murder mystery part of it, and then people start dying. Um, Not that all of them stay dead, but if you had to pick when one of the characters was killed off, who was like what was the hardest blow for you? Like whose death hit you the hardest? Because I definitely know my answer, but I like to hear what other people's are.
Uh, that's a good question. Because I'm like trying to remember who died again.
I can listen
Let me
if you want.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so shoot, I always forget his name. The really weird looking one, with the
The
swarm.
Harvest one.
The what?
Are you talking about the kid with the harvest thing?
Yes, Harvest. There you go.
Okay, yeah. I did not miss him when he died. He is probably my least favorite character throughout this series.
Yeah, me too. I mean, he's like one of the only ones that stays dead too. But
I was
I mean,
happy about that.
you were happy about it.
Yes,
I mean, they have to have mistakes, yeah. So, and I don't know. Kira's stand ability is just so fucking cool. The fact that yeah, but the further ability he develops, where it's like the time thing, and people get killed, and then time gets set back or whatever. For me, it's between Okuyasu and Rohan, but it's got to be Rohan for me. He's my character of the whole part. I just love what Araki did with this character. Like, I don't know, some people think that he's like his representation of him within the series because he's like a manga artist and like has all these weird, idiosyncrasies and stuff that he's got going on. But just like his style, his design, everything about Rohan is really cool. And if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check out. It's on Netflix. Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe. It's like his spin-off series. I think it's only like 4 OVA episodes on there right now, but all of them are just really good, and they have like mystery / horror elements to them, and I really think you'll dig it, Inks. So
because I have that on like my to watch list, so I just need to like find the right moment to just like enjoy some more Rohan, because probably like my second favorite character of part 4. First favorite will always have to be Koichi. So Koichi and then Rohan are like my 2 favorite of like part 4 of him.
Yeah, we were talking about that before.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, but like the whole disappearance of like the victims, knowing that technically ghosts do exist, and trying to solve the mystery that is Kira. But we can get back to that. You was about to say something?
Well, yeah, just you were saying, yeah. I mean, we were talking a bit last time we recorded about how Koichi's your favorite character, and he definitely grows on me too. I don't know. I didn't like him at first as much. I don't know what it is about when Araki draws. When Araki draws like shorter characters, just like I don't know, like when their stature is just like really short like that, and like they're next to like all these other characters that are like these big, like tall, lanky guys, like Josuke, and it just throws me off a little bit, or like it did. But then like he gets like the Act 2 and Act 3 of his stand, and like when his stand activates, his like hair goes like Super Saiyan almost, and like sticks up, and he gets to be more and more of a cool character, and like his relationship with what was it? What's her name? Shoot, Yuko.
Black hair, blue uniform. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's probably wrong. I don't think it's Yuko, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Their relationship is really cool, and just like how he, I don't know, not like forgives her, but just like sees her kind of like in all her weirdness, and it's just like, oh yeah, like, but like, I don't know, dude, she's got like some beautiful stuff on the inside going on too, even though she's a bit of a crazy stalker girl for him at first. And again, that might be like the Cinderella stand may have had something to do with that, but I don't know. I think Koichi was always gonna end up with her, even if that didn't happen. Which brings me into like how Kira uses Cinderella, that girl's stand, and changes his face.
Yeah.
Oh my! Like that. The first time I watched that, I was just like, "Holy shit! Like this is fucking cool." This guy is smart. He got away. Like you think he's done for when he's fighting Jotaro and Josuke and Koichi, right? Koichi's part of that battle too. Like
yeah,
you think he's going down. You're like, oh, like they got him, and gets away. Ends up like starting like a whole new life and everything, and you're like, I don't know, like you're almost rooting for him at that point, because he's like, he has that weird thing where he's just like, oh, I just want to have my life and just no one bother me and just like live my life the way I want to live it, and I just don't want to have to deal with any people. But he's this crazy murderer guy, and obviously shouldn't be left to it to do what he wants to do.
Right. And now that I think about it, I think that's like probably one of the best things about Kira is how his main strength is this him blending into the background. So with Theo, we got like the exact opposite. With the Pillar Man, we got like the exact opposite. But with Kira, his as I said before, his main strength is like he looks like a regular everyday human that you would not expect to have like the most creepiest of all of the hand fetishes.
That's all like because that's all based on like his preference. He's lived his whole life trying to be that person in the background. That's just like there. But that nobody really notices, and just like
Right. And the Cinderella girl, I forgot like her name, but I did somewhat like her. Like I was a bit more sad when she did die, because she seemed like a pretty decent character. So that I like I said, I admit that I was like a bit sad that she did die, because I was like kind of hoping to see a little bit more of her. But one of the things that I do like with the with Kira changing his look is the way that what's his name? The son, Hay Hayato. I think that's his name. Don't really know. Kind of got it. But I
No
like
worries.
how this. Yeah, I like how the son kind of figures out that something is off with his dad, but his mom doesn't really see it because he's just so in love with like this new version of her husband, but yet the kid is like something's up with my dad, so let me try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, kid's a genius.
And because of that, yeah, because of that, he was like probably my favorite minor character in part four.
Nice. Yeah, he's a good one. Yeah, I mean Cinderella was one of the only other permy deaths too. Like I think her and then is Shikijo. Was that it? The weird guy that we don't like, bumpy head guy.
Yeah, like
Shikijo. Is that? That came to my head, but I
I
don't think
think
that's right.
so. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Those are two of the only like deaths that stay permanent, and I don't know. Just adding, keeping some of the people dead like just adds more to the stakes. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, when Rohan dies, I had to just pause it. I'm just like sitting there for like a few minutes. I'm like, no way they killed my favorite character. Like it took me
Yeah,
a minute there to push play again, and like I'm glad they found a way to bring him back with Kira's standability and everything being how it is. But like, oh man, that shocked the hell out of me. I was not ready for that.
yeah. If Rohan stayed there, I think I would have probably taken like a lot longer to finish part four and get to part five. Because like I said before, Koichi and Rohan were like my two favorites. So if they died, I still would have like finished part four, but it probably would have been for like a good month or so. But they don't. Rohan comes back, and I am extremely happy about that.
I'd say the one I'm saddest about that
Because
was
if I,
permanent death was Okuyasu's brother.
yeah, that was probably like a sad one too. I mean, on one hand, I understand why he needed to die, which was to
Oh,
like
he's
give,
fucked up. Yeah.
yeah, which was, and not only that, but it was like also meant to give like Okuyasu like a bit more character the development too. So sad death,
Yeah,
but the death did its job.
if he had stuck with his brother, he would have just, become a worse person. But then he meets Josuke, and like their their uh their whole chemistry and interaction is great. I love those two. That's a friendship right there. Like those two are such like
Yeah.
bros.
I also like his stand too. I like how Okotsuki's stand. You can like probably say that it is like a bit overpowered, but because it belongs to like to Okatsu, he doesn't really use it that well because it's like so much potential with his stand, but because he is like not the brightest of guys, he can't like use 100% of its potential. So that's like probably another reason this character. By the way, what's your favorite stand, or if you have more than one, what are some of your favorite stands in part four?
Okay, that's a good one. Um, I right before you asked that though, I was just thinking like in my head, I'm like, would Kira be more dangerous with Okiyasu's stand than with the stand he currently has, or not? Like, because he's so smart, I wonder like how well he'd be able to use it. But that's just like a random thought I had. Favorite stand from part 4 though, man. I mean, probably Rohan's too, because it's Heaven's Door. I mean, it's one of the more OP ones also, I think, but it's just I don't know. I'm always wondering what people think about me, I guess, and like, you know, what's going on in other people's heads. And I've been told I'm good at like empathizing with people, and just, you know, kind of knowing what they're feeling and stuff, but like actually being able to go through like a person's entire history and stuff, and like, I don't know, it seems pretty cool. Plus you just like stop them like dead in their tracks, like they can't do anything, they're just like in a coma while you're like paging through all their stuff.
Yeah, Heaven's Door, like as soon as I saw that stand, I'm like, this is the stand that I would want in real life if like I could have one. So my favorites will have to be Heaven's Door, Lazy Diamond. I like Killer Queen and I like the hand too. And I also like Echoes, Koichi stand too. So it's like a lot of good stands in part 4.
Echoes is the onomatopoeia one where it's like a sound makes like an action happen, like comic books.
Yeah, I thought that was like kind of cool too.
Super rad. Yeah, I agree.
Plus, now that I think about it, with like the whole comic sound and with both Koichi and Rohan meeting up, they both have like this, in a way, this comic vibe to them. So I thought that was like kind of cool also.
True. Do you have a favorite episode from part 4?
Favorite episode? Favorite? You know, that's so hard because I love the whole part, but probably like the last few episodes are like really my favorite. Or I also like the one where we meet the ghost girl for like the first time. That was like really good too.
Yeah, for me, any episodes that are heavy with Josuke Rohan interactions, because I love how much he hates Josuke. He's just like, well, he doesn't like hate him, but he's just like so put off by it. It's just like, what is with this guy? Just like pushes all of Rohan's buttons.
I get that. I've always figured that their relationship is, you have two people, they know each other and they're decent, but the only reason why they're even talking to each other is because they have like that one friend in common.
Yeah, but they're
And
just
that's how I thought about them.
Koichi.
Yep, Koichi.
He's in running for best boy too. I gotta say, Koichi's
He is. I love Koichi.
He's up there. Yeah.
But, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just thinking of one of my favorites was just like when Josuke and Rohan are gambling, and Rohan's just like,
oh, that was a good one.
if I find out that you're cheating and I figure out how you're cheating, like, you're done. You're so done. And Josuke's like scared, like so fucking scared. He's terrified. Just like, oh no, like what am I doing?
I might actually rewatch the episode once we are done, because that was a good one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I really think you should give even if you just like watch one here and there. Yeah, I really think you should try Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe.
Oh, that is the plan. Like I said, it's on my watch list. Like, I put that on my watch list way before I even seen part 4, because the Rohan character, for some odd reason, he just drew me in, and I knew nothing about him. And after watching part 4, he, as I said, is like second favorite character. So can't wait to see that.
Hell yeah. You know what else I like a lot? That is an interesting character for a few reasons. But the biggest one is whether or not he is an alien. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yes. I like to think that he is because it is Araki and this is supposed to be JoJo Bizarre Adventure. So
Yeah.
it will like make sense for while everyone else is like kind of concerned about Kira, you just have like the most bizarre thing out there, which is, hey guys, I am a alien, and it's like, okay, that's nice, but just the way that he says it, probably like my second favorite minor character. Now that I think about it, I love
There's
him.
a cool theory about him actually, and the arrow, the stand arrows, because they're made of stone. They're made of asteroids, not of this planet. So the theory is that piece of rock came from wherever that alien is from, whatever planet that alien is from, and they're just like used to having different powers awakened, you know. But he ends up finding his way to Earth and like, yeah, coming across humans that like, you know, their abilities are awakening, and he's just like, oh yeah, like yeah, that's a normal thing. I can just kind of like go into whatever piece of matter I want to go into. I've always been able to do that. It's like not weird for him.
Right. So we have vampires, ghosts, and now aliens. I actually can't wait to see what bizarre things Part 5 is going to bring me, because JoJo is like definitely a bizarre adventure that's worth getting into. Like, if you can get like past Part 1, then I feel like you are in for a real treat.
Part 1 has a special place in my heart nowadays. I don't know. I used to just, it was hard. It was hard to watch. It was just unbearable at times. And now, like, I'll put an episode of it on, and I'm just like, this is so goofy. This is, you know, what's going on here? Like, Jonathan, like, you're fighting vampires with a sword, and like, Speedwagon is like the man, and I don't know. Yeah, and then Zeppeli, I love Zeppeli. His style is so dope. His top hat and just like his trench coat and everything.
I love his top hat, and I have like a thing for like anime characters that wear trench coat, so it was like pretty awesome as well.
Yeah, and it like for me, Dio's my favorite antagonist still throughout all the parts. But like another reason I like Part 1 is because they made the character of Dio in Part 1. You know, like they gave him the backstory. They gave him like they just made him into the cartoony, over the top, evil for the sake of evil villain, and that continued on into Part 3 and so on and everything. But like without that development and like that baseline for Dio in Part 1, then I really wouldn't have thought he was as good of a character in Part 3. But like when they bring him back in Part 3, and like just the amount of attention they pay to Dio's charisma, you know, like the fact that he just like everyone's just like drawn to him and just like wants to follow his orders, and like even Abdal at one point was just like, when he first met him, he's just like, I have to fucking get out of here, like I have to just run because this man is just terrifying. Like he could get
Yeah,
his head so quickly and easily and just make me his slave like so fast because he's just. I know we're talking about,
yeah.
but yeah,
Actually, that's fine because part one, two, and three, everything this kind of closes in nicely. But if it wasn't for part one, two, and three, we would not have part four with us. And even now, Dio and like this tiny way, I think, still has like this connection with part four with like the whole arrow thing because wasn't that connected to like that witch lady that used to work for him in part three?
yeah. So there are actually multiple arrows, and one of them they had in Egypt, Dio, and yeah, Obaba, I think, or something like that is her name, the witch lady. But I think in total there's three. I may be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I think there's multiple. I know there's multiple arrows for sure, and part four starts with Jotaro found out that there's another arrow and that it's in Japan somewhere, and um, he realizes it because of that one convict. Remember the one that Josuke turns into the stone? Such a meme, but like he finds out that there's probably most likely an arrow in Morio because of the fact that that villain gets out of jail because someone gives him the stand ability.
So again, even if you think Dio is not going to be a part of part four in a small way, he kind of is thanks to like that arrow connection thing going on.
He is
You can
intricately
never escape Dio.
yeah, he is intricately related with all the Joe stars and all their bizarre adventures. And I'll say this anytime I talk about JoJo's, it should be called Dio's Bizarre Band or Dio's Bizarre Adventure. It shouldn't be about the JoJos. I mean, Dio's the man. He's the pro tag in my mind. I'm rooting for
He
Dio.
is
I'm always
Dio.
hoping he makes an appearance and pops back into the picture.
Same, same. So I'm hoping that I get to see like a bit more Dio in part five, which, as I said, I'm probably going to be doing like another video on that probably sometime next year. Don't don't really know when because it takes me forever to like to actually conclude watching anime that I love because I if it's like a series that I love, I don't like binging it because then it's like, oh, I'm done. So I like to take my time with it. But this talking about part four, the epicness that was the mystery, the bizarreness, this like how cool the stands are. Josuke probably have to be like my favorite, like second favorite Joestar. So Joseph and then Josuke. And I guess you can like kind of call this like um a a spoiler or whatnot, but my third favorite will have to be Giono or Jono. So yeah. And then fourth Jotaro and then fifth probably Jonathan. So those are like probably my that's like my ranking order of like the JoJo so far.
I'm curious to see if that changes when you get all the way through part five because Giorno is, yeah, he's a G.
No, see, here's the thing. Way before I got into JoJo's, I absolutely love Giorno's theme song. Like I have that on my playlist. So
Yeah.
way, yeah. So it was like way before I even got into like part one. I'm like, this is like a really nice song, and I need to see what anime this is from. It was
Dun, dun,
perfect.
dun, 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 dun. Jojo's golden wings, which is the best. Still fire.
Yeah, that that is like I I want to get back into playing piano just so I can like play that little part that they have. I I think that would be like kind of cool to do.
Hell yeah. If you
Yeah.
really like that song, there's just type in Golden Wind girls playing sax, and there's a video where there's all these girls like playing different horns, like saxophone, trumpet, um,
Oh, I love
and
that video. That's like on my playlist also, like on my
yeah,
playlist.
yeah, it popped up in my recommended. I'm like, oh shit, and I listened to it, and like, just like they're like dancing around and stuff too for it, but like, I don't know, I like that version of it a lot.
Yeah, Jojo has like some pretty awesome OSTs. And also like some pretty good openings too. Like I know for part four, I like the first opening fine, but the second opening, Chase, um, I I love that one because part four what takes place in the 90s, and the second opening sounds like it belongs in the 90s.
True, true, true. His pompadour is
All
just
right,
the best.
but
It is.
yeah, yeah, but um, I think that is it. I gotta go soon, but this was fun. Like just talking about some JoJo goodness, and especially talking about um what I will like probably have to consider the best part of early JoJo so far. Part four was definitely worth it, and this is like as I said, this is like this really fun just to talk about the greatness that is JoJo.
You said it. I mean, I could do this for hours. My Joe Bros Bizarre Banter series. Like, I gotta do another episode of that soon, just because I always have so much fun just talking about JoJo's, and I can just go on and on. So, I'll let you know when I decide to do another recording of that, if you're available, and get you on another part of that, because you've been in two now, right? I think, right?
Uh, I think so. I'm not for sure.
Yeah, I think I got you back for a second one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh, but yeah, I'll let you know, and thank you again for having me on your channel, Inks. Everyone listening, if you haven't seen her other videos, they're top notch, time, and I gotta check out your Bleach one that you just put out.
oh yeah, yeah. I was not planning on like doing a video today, but considering that I stayed up until like 4 a.m. just to watch the trailer, which was 100% worth it for me, I had to like talk about that.
Yeah, my favorite video of yours is still probably shoot the the one about the the Espada, or sorry, not the Espada. The captain with the crazy head. Why can't I remember
Oh,
his
my
name?
Yuri,
Was it
Yeah, my Yuri Kuratutsi, my Yuri something.
my Yuri? My Yuri.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that was like probably one of my favorite videos too.
yeah. That I mean, spoilers for Bleach, but like when he fights that Espada, and wait, yeah, isn't it Espada? Yeah, when he fights that Espada and he's just like stabbing him for thousands of years because he slows down the guy's perception of him, and he's just like by the 100th year or whatever, he's just like screaming internally, kill me, kill me, kill me, like just get it in my fucking heart, like I just want to die, like just going through so much pain just for so long, just unending, like that's just diabolical.
Yeah. You know, I'm like actually rereading Bleach now. I'm like on like the Soul Society arc, and since Bleach is coming up like next year, which technically what like a couple of weeks from now, but with like Bleach coming back in like the fall, I'm thinking of like probably doing like a bit more Bleach content because out of the big three, that has always been like my number one pick.
It's gonna blow up too. People are gonna be looking for that Bleach content, so should get a good amount of views on those videos. But yeah, thank you again, Inks, and I appreciate you having me on, and I hope everyone listening checks out her other videos and her channel.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you. And as I mentioned in the beginning, if you enjoy some really awesome JoJo content, and not to mention, if you also enjoy record of Ragnarok, Hunter x Hunter, and like some other pretty chill series, then definitely check out Animellow's channel. 100%. Just go go check him out. He has like some pretty awesome content.
Yeah, just a quick plug for the project I'm working on, Rumors of Ragnarok. We're trying to put out our second chapter soon. It's going to be our first animated manga chapter, so with panels, but it's a video, and it's just going to be like the panels fading in, but it's going to have voice acting, music, um, and just different like sound effects and stuff added into it. So yeah, I don't know, like animated manga, I guess. So I hope you check that out. That's just like a spin-off series of Record of Ragnarok, where different humans and gods face off instead of the ones in the series.
Definitely will because I enjoy like the I like what was the fight name? The a Nazi on like the African spider guy. An,
Anansi is
yeah,
he's the father of wisdom, the king of wisdom, the West African god, spider god, yeah. And then he was fighting. He's currently fighting H.P. Lovecraft, the horror author from the
that was a good
early
video.
1900s. Yep. The second chapter coming out is a continuation of that. It's just going to be a very different format than our first one. The first one was kind of like
Yeah,
I don't know. But thank you again, and
so
hopefully I'll have you on for Joe Bros, or maybe we can collaborate on something else sometime soon too.
yep. All right. So I hope you guys have a pretty awesome day, and I will see you all later. Bye bye.